University leaders are trying to make things a little more normal this year, holding a majority of classes in person again and strongly encouraging but not requiring masks indoors. It comes at a time when intensive care beds are the fullest they've been with COVID-19 patients since the start of the pandemic. KVUE's Molly Oak is live on the campus tonight, and Molly, researchers there have a warning for students.
Yeah, Quita, their findings show that thousands of students could become infected just this first semester. As students head back to class, researchers with the UT COVID-19 Modeling Consortium are projecting around 200 students will have COVID within the first week and thousands more throughout the semester.
They're not meant to be predictions at all of exactly the amount of students that are going to get infected, but really they're what could happen under these plausible scenarios if behavior doesn't change to prevent that type of disease transmission.
That's Caitlin Johnson. She's a postdoctoral researcher at the UT COVID-19 Modeling Consortium, where researchers estimate a median of 57% of students will be vaccinated. Their report laid out a couple of different scenarios for consideration going forward, like what would happen if 60% or 80% were vaccinated.
And then for the 60% vaccination rate, we found without significant levels of asymptomatic testing, without a proactive testing policy, that we could end up in the thousands of students that would be infected.
The numbers specifically, anywhere from 5,000 to 16,300 infections during the fall semester. Their median projection is 11,200.
And that number could be significantly mitigated if asymptomatic testing was implemented under that same vaccination rate. And then also we looked at what would happen if we were at an 80% vaccination rate, and that we would have significantly less infections.
Johnson says that number can also change depending on people's behaviors. So not only if more people get vaccinated, but the number could decrease if people wear masks on campus and get tested if they're exposed. And something else, Quita, that comes into play is that students were required to get tested before coming onto campus. Of course, they did get a deadline extension. Instead of today, they have until Friday to get that test.
Now, Molly, how do the predictions compare to last year?
Well, something that's important to remember, Quita, is that there's been so many changes from last year to this year. The researchers pointed out that, for one, while we were in a surge last year, and we very much still are right now, the surge was a little different. We were toward the end of the surge last year, whereas right now we're still really in that peak. You've got the Delta variant that doctors have said is much more transmissible. Plus, classes are more in person this year, whereas last year they were mostly online. So you look at it, researchers did kind of a similar projection last year to this year. Last year they estimated anywhere from around 80 to 180 students would be infected within the first week. This year, they estimated anywhere from about 180 to 230 some odd students would be infected just this first week of school. Quita.
All right, KVUE's Molly Oak live on the UT campus tonight. Molly, thank you.